This is the thing. There's no real. I mean, look, Ruggs has some time left. I believe that he is up for parole next year, I believe, right? We all know what happened. We're not going to go into detail of that situation, but we do know that he had an opportunity to speak to the community of Las Vegas. I believe it was yesterday. I'll read this real quick, you guys. Let me see. He wishes he can turn back the hands of time while speaking at an event on Tuesday about his role in the 2021 car crash that left a woman dead. Ruggs, 26, was granted special release from prison to speak at a Hope for Prisoners event, the group said in a Facebook post. This is coming from NBCnews.com, you guys. Ruggs, 26, he was sentenced to 3 years to 10 years after he pled guilty in 2023 to a felony count of DUI resulting in death and in a misdemeanor manslaughter. The crash was the result of drunk driving and speeding that killed 23-year-old Tina. Rest in paradise to her once again and her dog. It's an unfortunate situation, said Ruggs, and I'm sure we all wish we can make some choices again and turn back the hands of time. He said in a live stream of the event, I never saw myself in that type of situation. Ruggs said that he never planned on driving that night. Police said that Ruggs was driving his Corvette at 1:56 while drunk when he crashed into Tina's vehicle on November 2nd, 2021. He also went on to say, when asked if he would, what he would say to Tina's family, he said, I would love for them to meet the real Henry Ruggs and not the one that was escaping from something. That is deep right there, you guys. They'll kind of let you know that Ruggs was dealing with something there. Regardless of how you feel about the situation, yes, there was a person that lost their life that day, a dog that lost their life, and they deserve the majority, of the attention with this situation. But what he said right there, not the real one, wishing that they could have met the real one and not the one that was trying to escape something. It looks as though Ruggs was dealing with something, and it's clear, right? You were drunk, driving 156. It's clear there was something to it. I sincerely apologize for not only being a part of that situation, but the fact that my face is always in the news, my face is always in the newspaper. They have to constantly be reminded of this situation. I would love to come and go out gracefully. He said, I don't feel like I ended on the terms that are meaningful to me and that I value. This he spoke about, would he be open to returning to the Raiders? He said, I would love to go out gracefully. So he will be up for parole, you guys, once again, next year. He'll be 27 years old, still really, really young. Honestly, we just drafted Dante Thornton Jr. We have Trey Tucker on the roster as well coming into year 3, I believe, out of Cincinnati. So I don't really think that there's room for Henry Ruggs at this point. I said it earlier on in the offseason, that I feel that maybe he would go to a situation like Green Bay where they can use some wide receiver help. He can return with Josh Jacobs, a guy that can put his arm around him, former, Alabama products, former Raider guys. I think it would make sense for him to go to a situation like Green Bay, where it's just a city where you can just focus on football and not all the lights and all the glimmer that comes along with Las Vegas. Not saying that he would come out and do the same thing that he once did, but I just think it'll be a lot more safer. And I think that Green Bay will be a lot more forgiving than the city of Las Vegas and our Raider fans if he returned to the Raiders. I want to ask you guys this. Would you guys think about potentially bringing Henry Ruggs back if he was allowed to be free next year through parole? Once again, he'll only be 27 years old. There's still a lot of gas left in the tank. They are allowing him to work out in there and get ready and get prepared for the NFL once he is released at some point. Me personally, you guys, I am rooting for Henry Ruggs. I just do not want the situation to be with our Raiders. I think everybody deserves a second chance. He has to live with that. We do not have to live with that. That is going to be on that man's conscience every single day of his life. He has to hear the scrutiny. He has to hear the roars and the boos. He has to deal with that. His family has to deal with that. We do not. So once again, the mind is a crazy thing, you guys. He has to live with that. We don't. So I would love for him to get another opportunity, just not with our Raiders. I will definitely root for him moving forward if he is allowed another opportunity to the NFL. Maybe he does go into the UFL and earn some stripes there. It is what it is. But I think that it'd be best if he went to a situation like Green Bay, if Josh Jacobs is still out there, once he is released. And once again, it's not a foregone conclusion that he'll be out next year. So he is up for parole. We don't know what that's going to look like. But once again, another situation where it's Damon Arnett. He gets an opportunity, with all the foolish shit that he did. Now we're looking at Henry Ruggs, who was doing his time. He was 3 to 10. He's in there. He's serving his time. So once again, if he serves his time out and they allow him out through parole, I think he deserves another shot at this NFL thing. But once again, I don't think it will work with us. We got Dante in the building. We got Trey Tucker in the building. We got a slew of weapons out there already. And once again, Vegas, I think, is not a great situation for him coming out of prison and trying to find his way back into the league. And once again, I don't think that our fans are very forgiving. I don't think that he would never, ever, ever hear the end of it.
One that I wish I can turn back the hands of time. I would love for them to meet the real Henry Ruggs and not the one that was escaping from something. I sincerely apologize for not only being a part of that situation, but the fact that, not to take a shot at you, but the fact that my face is always in the news. My face is always in the newspaper, so they have to constantly be reminded of the situation, be reminded of me, and see, those memories have to continue to rise because of all of the fame and notoriety that I have, which I never asked for, I never liked. And, so I would just tell them that, like I said, I deeply apologize for just being a part of that. And I wish that they could meet the real Henry Ruggs and not one who was just running away from everything.